With After the Bell, now after a promising start, the real estate sector witnessed yet another subdued year because of the NBFC liquidity crisis. That is the key highlight coming in from Knight Frank's report on the 2018 second half performance of this sector. Now, unsold inventory saw a contraction on a yearly basis, but at current pace, it will take companies about 10 quarters to sell their current inventories. Kevin Lee is joining us to take us through some of these highlights. Kevin, how does the picture look for the real estate sector for the second half of this past year?
Well, it's a good picture compared to the last 2 years, which have been marked by events like demonetization and GST, which were huge shocks to sentiment. Still not as good a recovery because of the NBFC liquidity crisis that we saw in the last quarter of 2018. Let's take you through the all-India picture first. Compared to 2017, 2018 actually saw a huge improvement in both launches and sales. That's sales improvement, about 10% for the second half of 2018. Launches higher by 120%. Like you said, inventories will take about 10.2 quarters to sell. But the problem is that this inventory is also aging, which makes it less likely that it will sell at all. Recovery, Knight Frank says, has been dented by the NBFC crisis. Let's also take you through some pricing details. Mumbai actually saw a drop of 7% in its weighted average prices. This was across micro markets. Central Mumbai, in fact, was hard hit in this. NCR and Bengaluru saw modest increases of about 2% in their weighted average prices. Knight Frank also says that the house price to income ratio is lower than it was in 2010 for all top 8 markets. So it is getting more affordable if you want to buy a house. Let's also quickly take you through the commercial picture. It was a very good year for commercial real estate, with vacancy levels coming to 12.3% versus 11.6%, and new completions up almost 50% at 8.7 million square feet. Bengaluru has eclipsed Mumbai as the leading market for commercial, led by BFSI. And a big new trend that is emerging is co-working spaces, where we saw leasing activity increase 50% over last year.
All right, Kevin, thank you very much for joining in with that very detailed report on the performance of the real estate sector. But with that, we're completely timed out on this edition of After the Bell. Do stay tuned to CNBC TV 18.